Hello YouTube, De-bodgery here. Welcome to EV Components Review. Christopher Kleinschmidt has to be rebuffed. He does. You cannot believe what he says. If you do, you're a fool. His lips move, he's probably lying. He is a consummate liar. His one skill set on this planet that I can determine is a practiced liar. That's it. He doesn't know electronics. He doesn't know how electronic assembly works. He doesn't know how a reflow oven process is done. He doesn't know how surface mount components are put down on the board. Maybe he's seen it. I don't know. I can't even speak to that. However, what I can say is the fallacious comments that he makes whenever he tries to refute what I say is just ongoing. So he absolutely deserves and needs me to refute what he says, because what he tells you is, in fact, nearly 100% lies. He always lies, which is why I said tricky Chrissy lying about the Rush Controller 3, because this video is so rife with lies, I can't help it. I don't care what he wants to show you on camera. I'm going to show you what it is that I got. And my facts belie his lies. All right, so let's listen to Christopher Kleinschmidt lie.
Excuse my voice, as I said earlier in earlier videos, I'm just getting over a pretty hefty head cold. So I just wanted to give you guys a look at something else that's been mentioned online is PCBs. One particular guy who does some pretty crazy...
One particular guy. So Richard Gumfaw, De-bodgery, EV Components Review, that particular guy. Nobody else has done a Rush teardown that I'm aware of, except for me. So yeah, that particular guy doing crazy reviews. You know, literally a guy who went to school for electroengineering, who has worked in electronics repair since the late 1970s. That guy, you know, me. Let's listen to Christopher lie some more.
Reviews has said that we ship our PCBs full of gunk and all this sort of stuff, full of flux and not clean. And truth is, we don't know.
Okay, so I got to stop him. So here's my claims. I don't have to make this shit up. I just got to pull it out of the case. Do you really need me to explain this again? It's all in my teardown videos. Look at it. That's a burn. That's a burn. That's a burn underneath all of that crap and flux on the bottom side of my logic board. So I put that on there apparently. It's a burn. That's a burn. I put this on here, right? I must have, right? You know, because how else could that have gotten on there? You know, if Christopher is telling the truth, then I put this on here. How else did that get on there? Either I did it or I got it that way. If you want to believe I have sabotaged this thing, all I can say is you're an idiot. I literally could care less about sabotaging Komodo. I have no time in my life to bother with that kind of nonsense. That's Christopher's nonsense. I'm going to open a shell and I'm going to look inside and see what I see. End of story. That's all flux. There you go. This is how I got my Rush controller. Exactly like this. All of that crap all over the board. A massively repaired logic board. Repairs everywhere. This is what I received from Komodo. This is what I received from Komodo. Christopher Kleinschmidt, you are lying. Look at the crap. Look at that's your CPU. Look at all the garbage all over that CPU. Okay, now we're to a power stage. Here you go. Look at all the crap on here. Look at all the crap in here. So I did this, really? What a moronic thing to say. Look at all the crap in here. I put that on there. Look, you can see the flux in here, right up next to the copper. There's the stud that broke off. Look at all the flux around all that stuff. So I did this to your power stage. Look at it. It's around these studs. It's around all these capacitors. At least mine arrived with 5 capacitors on here, 5 ceramic caps, not the 3 that the one that you show that's representative supposedly of your power stages. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. The guy is a complete clueless moron, and he presents this stuff like, look at how awesome it is, and we don't do this and the other thing. And yet the proof's in the pudding. Here's your photographic evidence, folks. You know, if I showed this to the police, guess who they would believe? Me, not him. Oh, yeah, the guy is just full of shit. All right, so let's go back to Christopher's video. Watch him do some more lying, because he is so good at it.
Actually clean the PCBs, guys. It comes from a PCB manufacturer, and they do all the cleaning.
So it comes from a PCB manufacturer, and they do all the cleaning. Well, you know what? That's probably true. They probably do. The thing is, though, is if you look at my teardown videos for my Rush controller, I throw down the gauntlet on him. I tell him in no uncertain terms to contact me and send me a controller that is not repaired. Guess what Christopher has done? He makes this shit and claims that I am making it up. The photographic evidence is abundant that my controller has been repaired. Maybe it originally looked like this, but it has obviously been massively damaged and massively repaired. And you can go look at my videos that I did in the teardown where I say, Christopher Kleinschmidt, contact me and send me a controller that has not been repaired. Guess what he has never done? Never even contacted me. He knows how to get a hold of me. You can look at my YouTube channel. You can see an email address. You can look on Facebook. You can find me, Richard Gumfaw. Do you think he's done anything? Hell no. Fuck no. Not a chance in the world. Why? Because he knows that the moment that he does, that I'm going to take that controller apart and I'm going to show how good or bad that one is too. And he does not want the exposure. He flat out does not. However, he gives me tons of ammunition in his videos. And so all I got to do is watch what stupid thing he presents next and explain it to you. So folks, here he is holding up a logic board for a Rush controller. All right? Got it in his hand. I don't make this stuff up. I want you to notice this orange jumper, white one here, you've got a black one there, and a yellow one over there. This is called a patch, okay? They found something wrong with their logic boards, and so they patched it. And now he's got a stack of them that he is selling to you with patches on them. This is the sort of thing that you never, ever sell your customers. That's the sort of thing that you do testing, you find all that stuff, and then you fix it before it ever goes into production. I can guarantee you that there is hundreds or whatever how many is out there of Rush controllers that have that patch in them because these guys literally will lie through their teeth. Christopher is a consummate liar, flat out deceptive, and he shows this kind of stuff, and he's too stupid to even understand what the hell he's showing you. That this board is clearly patched. I mean, come on, guys. Christopher, you should just shut up and never speak. You are such an idiot. And here you are presenting an obviously patched board that went through production and you found a flaw in it and did this manual bodge fix the thing rather than stopping production, making all new boards that don't have the patch in it. That's what everybody who is self-respecting, who cares about their products and their customers do. They don't sell bodged products like this. That's not even my board. Mine doesn't even have that jumper on it. It just got flux all over it because it's been massively repaired and burns on it because the MOSFETs underneath it exploded. Yeah, let's listen to Christopher Lies some more. I'll shut up.
So, I mean, he's right in one sense that we don't clean them, and that's because nobody has to.
Except for that he's lying to you again. Everybody should wash their boards. And in fact, Komodo shouldn't be washing these boards. They shouldn't. The people that actually make the boards for them should be washing them. The thing is the ones that come off the production line from whoever's making their boards for them, it's probably Far Driver, to be honest. I don't know that as fact. I'm just saying it probably is because, well, KO Moto is Far Driver. So it's probably the same people. I've shown those videos showing you, the similarities in components and design and stuff like that. It's probably Far Driver, but I don't really know that as fact. Those guys, they wash the boards. So anything that's new off that production line, that has been washed. Very likely it has been. But you can see my photos here, just to make sure that you can't forget it. Let's go back to there. There you go. Does that look washed to anybody? Are people so stupid that they can't see the flux all over this board? Does that look washed to you in any way, shape, or form? Does it? No, of course not, because this has been massively repaired by someone and then shipped to me as a new product. Christopher already knows I threw down the gauntlet right in my videos that I have gotten a massively repaired video, and he has been absolutely silent about it, has never even bothered to try to contact me about what I obviously got that is seriously wrong. You never do this to your customers. You never send them repaired hardware and tell them, here you go, have a nice day, without telling them right up front, we are sending you refurb product, and here, have a nice hefty discount in the process. If you're going to sell something new, you better send them something new, period. Otherwise, you are being deceptive, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's lying to you. I clearly got repaired hardware that's got flux all over it. If that's washed, all I can say is, my name's Santa Claus. Let's listen to Christopher Kleinschmidt lie to you some more. He's so good at it.
If you order a PCB from a reputable designer, a reputable company, well, not even a reputable, just any PCB supplier, they're going to ship it absolutely spotless because that's part of their job.
Yes, I agree, Christopher. They're going to ship it absolutely spotless because that is part of their job. I 100% agree with you. The problem is that's not what I got. That's not even close to what I got. Here you go, just so you're fully aware. That's what I got. A damaged board that's got burns on it. 1, 2, 3, at least on here. That's what I got, Christopher Kleinschmidt. Have you contacted me yet? No, you have not even tried. Instead, I have this. So, Christopher Kleinschmidt, while you may be true about stuff that actually comes off the production line, rather than something that has been obviously massively repaired, like what I've gotten, yeah, anybody who's self-respecting would never, ever, ever in 1,000 years ship this steaming piece of shit that I got from KO Moto. Never would they do that. And yet, that's exactly what you guys did.
And if they don't ship those spotless, then we would send them back and say, why did you send them and not clean? And we probably wouldn't ever order them from them again.
Yeah, neither would I, Christopher. I would never order from you again. Never, ever. Because this is the crap you do. So, folks, you remember those jumpers on the other one? Look, these ones are white. They're not even all the same color. They just have random wire colors that they use for this patch that they do. You're looking at it right there. That is a patch. And they've got a bin full of these boards. It gets worse than that, folks. Much worse than this. Look at the bin. Okay? Have you guys ever heard of anti-static? You see me on my bench. I have an ESD mat on my bench. I have an aluminum strip around the front edge of my bench, and all of that stuff is grounded to deal with electrostatic discharge, hence the name ESD. And here they have this stack of controllers just piled one on top of the other inside a plastic bin. No static protection of any kind. They're not separated from each other by anti-static foam. They're just piled one on top of the other. That's how little they care. They don't even bother dealing with anti-static protection. They don't even bother with protecting the board sitting one on top of the other. They're just piled here inside this bin.
So, yeah, it's kind of a bit silly, to be honest.
Yeah, Christopher, it is a bit silly that you shipped a controller that has been massively repaired. That is a bit silly. In fact, it's deeply offensive. That's how silly it is.
You can see every one of those is just spotless. And then I'll take you, I'm actually in production, I'll take you over here as well, guys. And these are all controllers that have halfway through their assembly. This is, I don't know what type of controller this is. Let's look. They're nano.
You know, I have to ask this question. He just said, I don't know which type of controller this is. So somebody who's gone to school for electrical engineering knows more about your products just by sight than you do, Christopher. And yet this is your production floor. You should know your products inside and out far better than I do. And yet I knew what controller that was the moment I saw it. And yet you don't know. All I can say is, damn, dude, you are an idiot.
So you can see all the boards are spotless.
Yeah, because they're not
Absolutely
repaired.
Spotless. And that's not our doing. We don't.
Yes, he's right. That's not our doing. They come washed from the manufacturer. That's how they should come. They shouldn't be repaired like mine is. They shouldn't be.
Actually have to do that, guys. Like I say, we have like every other company, we don't have the infrastructure to make PCBs. That comes from another supplier. It all gets SMT'd and what's the word? Soldered. So we don't clean them. He's right, because
I have to thank him for this. So this is the exact same logic board that's on the Pro controller. I've never seen the inside of a Nano before until now, and that's the exact same logic board that's in the Pro. So the only thing that's really different is the power stage, and unfortunately we don't get to see that in here.
They come clean from the factory.
They come clean from the factory. So Christopher, please explain to me how, if it came clean from the factory, how, Christopher, did I get a logic board like this? How, Christopher? Oh, look, my ESD mat. Yep. I care more about protecting your product from electrostatic discharge than you do. Christopher, how did this come from the factory like this? Please feel free to explain how that happened, Christopher. How? You can't explain it because it is what it is, and you know it is. So, Mr. Pretty Crazy, whatever you want to claim, dude, I got it like this.
We give the controller itself a once over to make sure that it's all nice and clean. We do solder and assemble all the power stage in-house. And obviously that all gets cleaned up. We might have a lady here doing that at the moment. Let's go and have a look. See if that's a process that's happening at the moment. I think she may be doing that now. These are ones that have come off.
So notice that this is sitting on cardboard. I don't care about that per se. But cardboard is flammable, and this board, if it had just come out of the reflow oven, it would be much hotter than cardboard can handle. In fact, it would be slightly cooler than the molten point of solder.
He's actually finished for the day, but these, you can see it's all clean as a whistle, guys. There's nothing there.
Yeah, look at that, folks. Right there. 3 of the 5 capacitors are there. 3 of the 5. Again, he shows another one of these power stages with the capacitors missing. No attention to detail. Just complete idiocy. 3 of the 5 capacitors there. You know, I'm going to bet that they are assembling all of them with fewer ceramic caps on there to cut corners even further. More is what you need, not less, Christopher. This is bad. You didn't have enough on there already with 5. And now you've only got 3. I'm going to say they're manufacturing this way because this is the second power stage I've seen. You know, this is the bottom power stage. This is the second one I've seen now with 3 capacitors instead of 5. So there's a really good chance they're manufacturing them and they're cutting corners even more than they were before. Mine has 5 capacitors on there, and that's inadequate. Let's let him go on.
So, yeah, bit of a silly comment, bit of a silly thing. It's kind of come to our attention that this guy likes to pull things apart, desolder, and go crazy. And
Yes, this guy goes crazy. You know, somebody who went to school for electrical engineering that looks up components, looks up data sheets. Wow, that's crazy, man. You know how many other crazy electrical engineers I happen to know? Dozens, hundreds, I don't know. I've worked for Hewlett Packard. I've worked for Microchips. I've worked for other companies, a company called Iontra, where they do work very similar to this, where they make electronic assemblies, make boards, surface mount components, do everything that you guys can't do. You know, you ship it out. Those guys actually build that stuff themselves. Well, Iontra doesn't. Oops, sorry. Hit the space bar and started the thing up. Nevertheless, I have seen this kind of stuff over and over and over again. I am not crazy. I'm not insane. I actually know what the hell I'm talking about.
adamant that it's a bit of a setup because nothing.
It's a bit of a setup. Okay, so you're looking at the underside of that board. It is clean. I won't deny that. That looks pretty good, despite the really low resolution. Please compare that with mine, Christopher. Do they look clean to you? Does that look clean to you in any way, Christopher? Please contact me, Christopher. Please fix your shit show of a controller that I got. Please, Christopher, do the right thing once and stop lying through your teeth. The proof's in the pudding, dude. I got what I got, period. Go ahead, keep lying. We already know you're going to.
Nothing like that would ever leave the factory with all that gunk and all that crap on there.
Except for that, it did. Except for that, it did. There you go, folks. You saw the other one. Look in the background. You can see that wire is white. Here they go, yellow, orange, green, yellow. They can't even pick a color for their damn fix that they did to the board. Oh, God.
And then another comment that was made is this caftan tape sitting.
Again, caftan tape. Dude, K-A-P-T-O-N. Kapton. It is a trademark name from DuPont. Use the right bloody name.
Around the, underneath these.
Yeah, so he's about to explain away why they don't need the caftan tape. What an idiot. All right, so folks, you see all this green on the board? That is a coating that's called solder resist. So like you can see in here, circuit traces, and they're green colored. Copper's not green. Copper has got a golden color. The reason why you see these ones having this silvery sheen to them is because they have a light coating of solder on top of them. Everything else on this board, everything that's got green on top of it, that has a coating that's commonly referred to as solder resist. You can see it everywhere. The only place that you don't put solder resist is places where you want to have direct exposure to the circuit pads for whatever reason. Maybe it's to solder some chip down, maybe it's because you need to have a screw go through and because you've got a current path there, etc., etc. So that's a very common practice that you do that you have these exposed traces. But then you have other places, like say right here, where as you can see, everything is completely exposed. And what he's about to do is lie to you yet again about the caftan tape, you moron. It's called Kapton, you idiot.
Capacitors. The truth is they don't need to be isolated.
Yeah, he just lied to you. So you can see it right here. Look at all of those exposed solder pads right there. Where they neglected, for whatever reason, to put solder resist, that's this green coating, over top of all that stuff. This capacitor, every single one of those capacitors, they have an aluminum can, okay? The actual foil wrapping inside is surrounded by an aluminum can. And on the bottom side of the capacitor is a little rubber plug. And the possibility of that metal can touching the circuit board is a real possibility. And as you can see, there's all those exposed pads on here. And so if those aluminum cans did actually touch those solder pads, which are exposed, you would create a shorting hazard or an arcing hazard, all of the above kind of hazard. So he just lied to you by saying the Kapton tape is not needed, because that is not the case. If all of those pads were in fact covered with solder resist, then he wouldn't be lying to you. But they are not. You can see that they are not. If they were covered, they would be green like everything else that's covered in solder resist is. He lied to you. Gotta love all of those patches, all of those jumpers. Holy crap. And they're shipping this stuff. He's got a bin full of these things piled one on top of the other inside a plastic bin, no ESD protection in any way, shape, or form. You see him handling the board. I doubt he has an anti-static arm strap on. I doubt he's grounded, any of the above. He's just handling this stuff like it's A-okay to do that. No anti-static protection of any kind. Stack them all one on top of the other. Stick them inside a really staticky plastic bin. We just don't give a shit.
It's insulated is the truth. We just do that as a little bit of an extra.
Yeah, because we're good guys.
Again, if some debris, some crap, some particulates, whatever it might be, get underneath.
Again, I have to ask the question. I said the same thing in my previous video where he made the same claim about the Kapton tape around the bridges. Oh, just in case some little metal thing would get in there. It's inside a waterproof sealed shell. Pray tell how metal is going to get in there and possibly do what you're going to describe and not get on anything else anywhere. Pray tell, Christopher Kleinschmidt, how is that possible?
There and start rubbing. At least there's some protection. It's like there is no other way to really do it. Most brands don't put any.
Yeah, there really is no other way to do it. Except that there is. Look at all the solder resist all over everything else that doesn't need solder on it. Yeah, there is another way, Christopher. It's right there in front of your eyes. Everything else that you don't want solder on has green solder resist on top of it. It can come in other colors too. On these boards, it's green.
Anything underneath their capacitors. So, I mean, we just go that one extra step to make sure that, like I said, if anything gets in there.
Look at all those boards just piled everywhere. They literally don't give a shit about their handling of products, about zapping them with static, about proper packaging before they get assembled. Just slam them all together in a big plastic bin, pile them on your bench top, whatever.
There or anything ever rubs.
Yeah, look at those. Look at the jumpers. Now it's orange, green, yellow, teal colored. Look at them all twisted around. They are not stuck down. They've got no silicone holding them down. These wires are going to eventually break off, folks. And here you've got a bin full of them. Look, this one here, you've got 2 yellow wires there, 2 red wires there. Yeah, I mean, every single one of these boards has got this repair done to them after they were manufactured. Every single one.
A little bit extra layer of protection there.
Little extra layer protection. How about a necessary layer protection? Just like having to inhibit the arcing issue between your bridges and the battery minus bus on your power stages. Little extra bit of protection. My ass. How about required? You need it.
But it doesn't mean here nor there for anything else. All right, guys. I hope that helps put some of that in.
Look at all those jumpers. They're all different colors. Every single one of those boards has it. Look at them all just piled one on top of the other. I mean, even the connectors aren't the right colors. Look, this one's orange, that one's red, that one's orange, that one's orange. Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah, folks, you are looking at a company that literally presents you crap on camera. This is Christopher Kleinschmidt's own video showing you just how little they care. Putting all the controllers stacked one on top of each other. like this, no protection between the boards whatsoever. Stick them in a plastic bin that's not even ESD protected. It probably doesn't even have a sticker on the side of it saying ESD safe. I bet you it doesn't. It's just a plastic bin that they got at their local hardware store or something like that. Just a blue plastic bin that you can pick up at Walmart for $5. And here they've got, you know, however many logic boards are in this bin, I don't know, but you know, they're just stacked one on top of each other. This is the sort of thing that companies that don't give a shit do. People that do care, they have special carriers. They are anti-static protected. Every single board goes inside a special slot that keeps it away from everything else. Nothing sits piled one on top of the other. None of that happens. You definitely don't see jumpers on boards to repair them. All that stuff is done in prototyping. And when the product is released, it's perfect. And if it's not, they do a re-release. They don't do bodges like you see on every single one of these. I hope that helps. Yep, it does, Christopher. Thank you for the ammunition to show just how shoddy KO Moto really is.
Perspective, here we go. We have some more power stages here that have just come off.
Yeah, you just heard him say, here you go. We have some power stages that have just come off. So, again, if that was true, and it's not, first of all, this power stage has the aluminum plate underneath. That's a middle power stage. It would be really hot. Very, very hot. It didn't just come off. This came off hours ago, maybe this morning, something like that. He would not have his hand on it, and it would not be mounted to the aluminum plate, and there would not be thermal paste between the two. So like right here, you can see one of the threaded standoffs that secures this power stage to the aluminum plate underneath it. Look down inside there, you can see thermal paste. You can see it down in there too. This didn't just come off. This has been off the assembly line, the reflow oven stage, for quite a long time. Otherwise, it would be much too hot to hold. Never mind the fact that after they come out of the reflow oven, these bridges are added as a manual step. All the solder is added around all these connections, like I've already explained. And again, that makes this power stage quite hot because you need to put molten solder on everything. He would not have his hand on here. This did not just come off. At most, it came off a couple hours ago, maybe a little sooner, but not a lot sooner. I do this kind of work. I know how long it takes for these things to get cool enough for you to put your hand on them. So this came off the production line a good little while ago, not just now, not by a long shot. He just lied to you yet again. Never mind the fact that it is sitting on plastic, this plastic bin, which is probably, I don't know, polyvinyl chloride, nylon, something like that. You know, that very staticky, not ESD safe plastic bin that they got from the local hardware store or wherever the hell they got it from. Yeah. And he's setting something that just came off the product line with literally molten solder everywhere. It would melt the plastic. It would be too hot to hold, etc., etc., etc.
And going together. So you can see how spotless it is. It's just silly talk, unfortunately, guys. Design.
It's just silly talk. Okay. Let's just make sure that we're both talking the same silly talk. Wow, yeah, that's super silly. You're right, Chris. I'm just delusional. Yeah, I must be. Yep. Oh, wow, yeah. Wow, I am absolutely, completely delusional. Yep, definitely. Sure enough. Wow, yes, you're right. I can't see any dirty board anywhere at all. I must be out of my mind. Yep. Yep. Wow, look at that. I am just making silly talk. Truly, I must be. That's got to be. What other possible explanation could there be? I am just delusional, making it up, completely flat out, making it up. It must be the case, Christopher. Because, I mean, I can't see any evidence whatsoever here of flux all over the board of power stages that have not been washed power stages that have not been repaired, logic boards that have not been repaired. I don't know, Christopher. You're probably right. I'm just delusional. Yeah, that's such a logical explanation. It must be my mind is completely out of kilter. That's got to be it. It couldn't possibly be that I'm looking at what I'm looking at. Now, could it, Christopher? It couldn't be. Who is lying here, guys? It's not me. I'm just showing you what I found. Yeah. So notice this bridge, folks. In my last video, I talked about robotic placement. You see it's crooked, right? This one is less crooked, but it's still crooked. That was placed by hand by a human being after the fact, straight up. And you can clearly see that it was not washed. Look at all the flux all over everything. That's not washed. I don't make this stuff up. I just find what I find, period. Thanks, Christopher, for the ammunition. You liar.
To distract you guys and hopefully push you towards another brand based on some false information. And
false information. I'm going to just say that if the cops saw what my photographic evidence is, they would throw him in jail. Not me. They would say, dude, you're obviously lying. His photographic evidence is irrefutable. And here he is saying it's spurious, I'm making it up, blah, 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 blah. Do you guys really need to see the photographs again? I only picked and choose. Go look at my teardown videos. You can see it everywhere. Am I seriously lying? Really? And that's what he's saying. I'm making it up. I'm some silly dumb shit making this shit up. I find this astonishing that he would even have the temerity to even think that, never mind record himself saying it.
And essentially what equates to rubbish.
It just equates to rubbish. Except for Christopher, I have the irrefutable evidence.
That's our power stage there, that's the block. All right, guys, I hope everyone is safe and well. I hope that, like I said, I hope that helps you guys navigate a little bit the BS online.
Yeah, there is BS online. I totally agree with you, Christopher Kleinschmidt. It's you that has the BS.
And, yeah, hope it helps. Cheers, guys.
All right, folks. Well, there you go. You saw it. I'm not going to play it again. I'm not going to comment further on it. The evidence against everything he said is right there in my photos. Am I seriously making this stuff up? The guy has never contacted me. And I put that in my teardowns. You know, Christopher Kleinschmidt, contact me. Send me a controller that is not obviously damaged and repaired. That is not a giant mess. He's never done anything. Never, ever done anything. And the only reason why he's commenting on my videos is because he's watched them. So he knows full well of what it is that I've said. And I stuck it right out there for the entire world to see it. He is flat out lying to you yet again. You can see it in my pictures. Here you go, guys. Just in case you're still not clear of the piece of shit that I got from KO Moto. This is what I got. Massively repaired, giant ass mess. This is what I got. He is flat out lying to you. All right, I'm done.